Folks, how's it going?
It's going well. I'm well.
Craig, how many years have you been rigging elections?
What's up, guys? Boy, Benny. What would be the hardest top 10 list to make? I like top 10 lists. I've always find them very entertaining. What would be the most difficult one to put together? Your favorite movies? Your favorite Joe Biden his pants moments? How about the top 10 largest, most demonstrable lies your government has told you? Ooh, those are going to be tough, man. There was only a single shooter during JFK's assassination. We've never communicated with aliens. We have no spacecraft from foreign lands or nations or planets. How about this? That the 2020 election was the most secure election in our lifetime. That's something that government agencies, intel agencies, told you. But now, according to bombshell Fox News reporting, it turns out that maybe the FBI was actually paying ballot stuffers, was paying people to rig elections, allowed it to happen. Known criminals. Let me set this up for you, ladies and gentlemen, and then we'll play for you the bombshell reporting from Jesse Waters' show. There's a guy in New Jersey who has a operation to rig elections. This guy, you pay him, and he goes and just comes up with enough ballots to win you an election. According to a federal prosecution of this guy, the federal charges, which we have read, Craig Callaway of Atlantic City was actually responsible for rigging not just one, but multiple elections. The campaigns pay him, and then he is able to effectively turn over ballots and shove ballot drop boxes filled with ballots for, well, the people paying him enough money. It's kind of like the way the mob works. Craig Callaway was so nefarious, egregious, and well known in this activity that both parties would pay him. Republican parties, Democrat Party. Craig Callaway was also an FBI informant. Craig Callaway would wear a wire for the FBI in order to expose corruption. In fact, this is how the FBI charged him with a single count. Why just one count? Oh, we'll explain here in a second. Ladies and gentlemen, Craig Callaway was a protected FBI informant. They knew he was rigging elections. They have all the evidence. It's all laid bare in the actual charges. Ladies and gentlemen, former Atlantic City politician charged with election fraud involving absentee ballots. The FBI put a wire on this man in order to watch him do this. Many mail-in ballots collected by Callaway and his subordinates were ultimately cast in the names of people who had confirmed that they did not vote in the general election, either in person or by mail, the office said. These voters also said they did not authorize Callaway, his subordinates, or anyone else to cast ballots for them. So this guy stole ballots and then voted for people. He's previously sentenced to 40 months in state prison for a bribery scandal. While waiting to report to prison for that offense, he orchestrated a sex sting against a political rival. In 2016, he rented 2 rooms at a motel on the edge of town. Co-defendant placed a camera hidden in a clock radio inside one of the rooms, and the video recorded set up to an adjacent room. The FBI said in court documents that Callaway and others paid a prostitute between $150 and $200 to lure Robinson to the room to perform a sex act on him. And then they filmed it. So this is a great guy. Rigging elections, paying prostitutes and hookers, setting up sex stings, illegally filming people, already waiting on a prison sentence. This is the guy that the FBI trusts as an informant. And the FBI knew damn well that this guy was rigging elections, and they let him do it. Bombshell reporting here, ladies and gentlemen, from Jesse Waters of Fox News.
So last week, we introduced you to Craig Callaway, the Wanda of Atlantic City. Craig was arrested for election fraud in New Jersey. Just like Wanda, he's accused of harvesting and stuffing absentee ballots. Craig would allegedly pay people $50 to forge signatures and forage for ballots inside of nursing homes. Craig, Democrat, even served a stint on the city council as president before being arrested for bribery and sexual blackmail. The known harvester is a hired gun for both parties and has been accused of rigging elections for years and bragging about it.
Those vote by mails that came in, that over 700 that came in when he was up by 200 something, those came from who? It came from our organization.
Primetime's fascinated with Craig the Stuffer, so we sent Johnny to Atlantic City this morning.
Do you know Craig?
Yes.
What do you think of him?
My honest opinion, piece of
He was caught rigging elections
again or just the same?
again and again and again.
Oh, that's wrong. That's really wrong. You should not do that.
It sounds like corruption to me.
It was wrong. If he did it, it was wrong.
This is a pretty much norm in our elections. I mean, there's always someone's going to try to skirt something around.
Is Atlantic City elections corrupt?
Always have been.
Are the elections in Atlantic City clean?
I don't believe so.
Not really.
Not for us, especially. I've heard of corruption, and honestly, when you look around, you can see that the Atlantic City is not in the best conditions.
What's your message to Craig if he's watching tonight?
Go lay down and stay your down. That's it. Go lay down. Enough is enough. Ain't he tired?
Nope, Craig's not tired at all. He's a busy man. He's so busy that he's been working for the FBI for 25 years. That's right. Craig the ballot stuffer wears wires for the feds to catch people bribing government officials. But Craig the stuffer messed up and got caught taking bribes in an FBI sting. But don't worry, he cut a deal with the feds who just wired him back up for more stings. But then Craig got caught sexually blackmailing a minister in another sting. So Craig's a snitch and a stuffer. Does the FBI have ballot stuffers on the payroll? It's strange because the Justice Department says Craig was caught with a stack of dirty ballot applications back in the midterms, but they didn't indict him until this year. Why wouldn't the FBI want clean midterms in Jersey? Why'd they wait? Well, why don't we just ask Craig?
How are you?
I'm all right. Who are you?
Johnny from Fox.
From Fox?
How's it going?
It's going well. I'm right.
Craig, how many years have you been rigging elections?
0
years.
0 years. Never happened.
Craig, but you've been charged with rigging elections.
Yeah, I can charge you for something. They can charge you for anything. So no.
Craig, but you know that's not right.
What's not right?
Rigging elections and using fraudulent ballots. People say you've
I have no comment. I would appreciate if you get up and move away from me. Get out my face. So I have to lay one of you bastards down.
Craig, what about the people who said they didn't mail their ballots?
So, ladies and gentlemen, Craig Callaway seemingly has no remorse. Craig Callaway was rigging elections while the FBI knew he was doing this. U.S. Attorney's Office said Callaway is charged with 1 count of depriving, defrauding, and attempting to deprive and defraud the residents of the state of New Jersey of free and fair election, holding free and fair elections as bedrock principle of democracy, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Got it. He probably helped out Republicans, and then he gets charged. With 1 count? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking a great deal about the systems that allow for people like Craig Callaway to operate with general impunity, and how many of those systems are, well, precisely the same. It goes like this. You simply mail everyone a ballot. That creates a physical piece of valuable property that can be used to rig elections, and then criminals like Craig Callaway can go out and can grab up all of those pieces of property and use them for his own profit. It's kind of like having the safe at your bank be wide open all day. Maybe good, honest, and moral people won't walk in and take bags full of cash, but there's a lot of criminals out there, and that safe would be empty real fast as soon as they got word that, well, the money's just out in the open. You can take it if you want it. That's how stupid we are in this country. The stories of the Craig Callaways and the election riggers throughout the country have compounded and have created a real interesting patchwork narrative that proves that not only are our elections not the most secure in history, our elections are probably less secure than they have ever been in the history of this nation. It's utterly terrifying. A recap and a rundown, ladies and gentlemen. Go. This is literally happening in every corner of the country, in every state of the country. On varying levels of severity, but it's all happening. Listen, when you make something that should be secure, like your ballot, or let's say a vault full of money at your bank, If you opened up that vault and every bank vault in America was just wide open, do you think that people would start, sometimes some of the worst people in society, sometimes just people who are well-meaning and maybe need a buck, would start sneaking into that bank vault and they could just get in there and grab the money? Do you think that some people would actually, in an organized fashion, go take all the money? And once they realize that this is an insecure system, of course they would. And that is what's happening with mail-in ballots across the nation. It's always the same story. It's always the same story. Mail-in ballots either are stolen or paid for, and then they are used to rig elections. The end. Queens man forged absentee ballots in Democrat primary scheme as part of a voter fraud scheme. What happened to this guy? This guy caught a case of 140 counts of voter fraud. His name's Abdul Rahman. Indicted him for falsifying business records, criminal possession, and forged instruments, and other crimes submitting to falsified absentee ballots. In the Democrat primary, you'll also find something very interesting. These are often Democrats doing this against Democrats. It continues, ladies and gentlemen. 140 count indictment. This guy rigged elections too. He was doing this, rigging elections against Democrats. So can we talk about it now? Let's continue, ladies and gentlemen. Up just a few miles north of Manhattan and New Jersey, where that fraud was going on, that organized criminal fraud was going on, a judge in Connecticut overturned the results of a Democrat primary in the bluest county in Democrat because the volume of ballots was so mishandled that it calls into question the results of the primary election. I am unable to determine the legitimate result of the primary, the judge wrote, this Democrat judge in this Democrat county, saying there's so much fraud that we have no idea who won. How? Well, obviously, you know it quite well, because of old ballot wizard Wanda. Here's the footage of Wanda, who works for the county, wandering up with a trash bag full of ballots. This is, of course, illegal. Is Wanda in jail? Is Wanda facing any charges? Of course not. Wanda's a Democrat. She's protected by the Democrats who would prosecute her. Here, Wanda goes and does a lap, trying to absolve her sins, and then comes right back and shoves more ballots into the box. Why does Wanda's a criminal, why does Wanda have access to so many ballots? Great question. Jesse Waters went and asked.
So it's up to us to shine a light on corruption. That's why we sent Johnny to see Wanda.
How's it going? Johnny from Fox, how are you? How are you? Nice to see you. Wanda, why did you stuff the ballots? Wanda? Why did you stuff the ballots? Wanda, there's surveillance video of you stuffing the ballots. Do you have anything to say? Wanda? Wanda, what do you want to say to the people of Bridgeport?
So Wanda pled the fifth, just like she did in court. We're not letting this go.
Oh, baby, but like it gets so much worse than just Wanda. Patterson City Council president and wife stole mail-in ballots to rig a 2020 election. Now, this was slightly less sophisticated, but absolutely wild. This is Patterson, New Jersey, okay? So back to New Jersey. City Council of New Jersey's third largest city in Patterson directed an election fraud scheme to help him win his seat. Here's what happened to this guy named Alex Mendez. Alex Mendez, this dude, here he is, here with Bill Clinton, of all people. Cory Booker, he's the senator from New Jersey. And Whoopi Goldberg. Oh yeah, Whoopi, ladies and gentlemen. This guy and his scumbag wife went and stole ballots directly out of people's mailboxes. I love talking shit, but like, this is literally according to the filing by the Attorney General of New Jersey. He stole ballots from the mailboxes, took the paper out of the ballots, literally voted the way he wanted the person to vote, refolded the paper and put it back in the ballots. If that person had already cast their ballot, then this guy would change their vote and put it back in and then vote for him. Does that sound like a free and fair system to you? According to reporting in the state of Michigan, there were over 800,000 ballot applications sent to non-qualified voters, along with, of course, the bags of gift cards and payoffs for people's vote. That always happens. You can see here the literal police report on this. Now the FBI has swooped in to take over. Got it? Yeah. Okay, got it. Are you sick of your elections looking like this? Are you sick of feeling like you're in a third world country? Because you are. Arizona woman admits guilt in ballot collection scheme. Guillermina Fuentes is this woman's name. What would Guillermina do? Well, the same thing they were doing in New Jersey, same thing they were doing in Connecticut, same thing they're doing in New York. Guillermina would go pay people in cigarettes or in gift cards for their ballots. Then she would go fill those ballots out and cast the ballots in the mail. She would then go mail the ballots in for these people. Moving up the coast to Worcester, Massachusetts, there is a video of a woman who showed up to vote, and literally the registrar said, "You've already voted." And she said, "I haven't voted." And they pulled out the ballot, and she's like, "That's not my signature."
The report filed was from this Lawrence woman, who's still waiting for elections officials to decide whether her in-person vote will count or the mail-in, which she says has her signature forged.
How come it's not going to be counted if I'm voting right in front of you and I'm telling you that that vote that you have there is not mine?
State elections officials are now sorting through these allegations and were told the results would be delivered before the candidates begin their new terms in January.
We're on it. The minute we heard about it today, we took action. We've had a history of sending people to jail when they've committed crimes.
So this is what happened. This person, a paid agent of the Democrat Party or some George Soros-funded voter fraud group, comes wandering up and literally steals the ballots.
This is the Ring camera video appearing to show a woman taking out 3 ballots from a Lawrence man's mailbox.
She just steals the ballots, walks away, and then they vote for him. 1 in 5 mail-in voters admit they cheated in the 2020 election. 1 in 5. Saying they either voted for somebody else, voted in a state where they weren't allowed to vote. This is how you get 81 million votes for Joe Biden, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Heritage Foundation has a great database on this. 1,500 proven instances of fraud, 1,200 criminal prosecutions, civil penalties, judicial findings, diversion programs. You can see the database here, ladies and gentlemen, of election fraud and voter fraud, just in every single place in the country. Hundreds of thousands of different criminal cases for fraudulent use of absentee ballot, false registration, duplicate voting, ineligible voting. Our system is utterly destroyed. We must speak truth about it. Elon Musk is beginning to notice. Elon Musk quote tweeted us saying, "Judge orders new election in Connecticut town after surveillance video shows ballot stuffing." This happened. It's beyond a reasonable doubt. The only question is how common it is. Elon Musk sharing the footage of one of the ballot stuffers in the Georgia election, just sitting there and pumping those ballot boxes full of ballots. How much was this woman paid? What a question. Makes you wonder. Says Elon Musk, one of the richest, most powerful, most followed people on earth. We can break the narrative. We can save the country by simply talking about what's actually happening right in front of our face. Don't be pussies. Don't get cucked. Don't get embarrassed out of actually speaking truth about what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen. And that is what we must continue to do. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe if you want free and fair elections in this nation.